Okay, so you focusing on your artists and your rap artists, of course, was in Swank PR. So you influenced from the music game. You done seen it come from raw, uncut hip hop to culture, and now it's all about dance and everything like that. So give me a description of the South Side versus West Side music
Wow.
in hip hop.
In hip hop? Oh wow. Um, that's a good question. The South Side definitely has they're pretty much, and everybody says this and it's cliche, but it's very true. It is the soundtrack to what's going on out there. And it's the soundtrack. From the drill to popping pills to anything that is going on the South Side, if you listen to the music, you're going to be able to understand to an extent. Um, the greatest part of the South Side music was the drill movement, and I'm gonna tell you why. From the music industry side, there was a time when Chief Keef came out, people in my industry, people in the industry, was like, "Who is this?" So the fact that this huge underground movement had been created and nobody in the music business knew about it in Chicago was a scary thing, because it literally catapulted and opened up this whole entire world to the United States, pretty much, and to the entire world.
Why do you think West Side artists can't make it mainstream other than pop music?
Well, I think that question is dumb, because there are West Side artists that have been mainstream. So that's number one.
Recently.
Well, you didn't say recently, but I wouldn't say that. I think that I think overall a lot of good artists in Chicago get overlooked because of what's already out. I think bop music and drill are actually even ground, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's even ground because there's only so far you can go with both of those categories. People are scared of drill music, so there's certain venues and things you can't even go into because people are scared somebody's gonna get shot or any of that. And then with bop music is just trendy for that moment, and it's dance, and it's for whatever. It's more of a younger kid type music. After a while, you can't listen to it after you done heard it like 5 times. So they're both limited in what they can do. So I would really just say they're even kill on both ends. I think the difference, like I said, what made drill music more popular was actually the violence. The violence on the South Side, because media, what they do is sensationalize what's going on. So that was, again, a soundtrack to what they were putting on CNN, to what they were doing. So, of course, it gained national attention because there was so much behind that music. And people were like, oh my God, people are killing themselves. It's so violent in Chicago. But our murder rates dropped. The 90s was worse than the 2000s. So that wasn't a reason. That was just a door that just opened up a whole world that we as Chicagoans know about, but people didn't know about it. And, I go out of town and people think we got, tanks riding around in the city when they come. And then when they get here, they're like, wait a minute, this is actually nice. And they don't realize that's an area where some of these things are going on at. And so what happens is, because the reason why that music blew up more than the bop music is simply because there's people like violence. They want to see that on the news. So people being happy and having fun, that's too good. People killing each other and talking about it and seeing mothers cry, and that drives ratings. So there's things that I think drill music brought to the mainstream that bop couldn't bring to it. But unfortunately it was a negative vibe that they brought. That was brought, and I think it was presented, depending on whoever outlet it was, again, it was presented in a certain way. But you meet Chief Keef, you meet these artists, and you like, oh, okay, these are regular kids. They just they do. You got like everybody in Chicago got a cousin, a sister, a brother, or somebody in their family that act like that. Everybody. And so I think it was just a phenomenon to people that aren't from here. And I think that's what made it more sensationalized than bop music.
With the ear for music, and I know that, like you were saying earlier, that you're not just going to represent just anything. Who right now in the city do you feel is a good artist? Like, is really putting the music out here in a way that's like a movement or a change? Like representing the city
in a good way? I mean, I'm going to always plug my clients. I would say Z-Verse and The Boy Illinois. Definitely those two artists. Mainstream, of course, Alupe. I think his last album definitely got underrated. I think that there could have been a lot more, attention on his project. Herb is what I love about Herb is his passion. When you listen to his music, you can feel it. And that's something that you can't find in every artist. Like, it's cool to make trendy rap, but if I'm listening to a song and I can feel the pain of a person, that is going to intrigue me more than anything. Who else in Chicago? You got to give me a minute to think about this. I don't know. That's a hard one. Anybody in Chicago? I like Ty Money too. He's one of my newer clients. I like Ty Money. And Ty Money is another young kid from out south who has a message, but also, puts a lot of feeling in his music. Who else would I say? I can't think of nobody right now, y'all.
You don't like Chance the Rapper?
Oh, duh, yeah. See, I'm like, I can't think of nobody. Chance, of course. Chance is like a little brother to me. And Chance, what I love, his music has a lot of soul, and it just makes you feel good. And you can't find that everywhere either. And I would say Kanye, of course. Kanye is my favorite artist, by the way. Crazy and not crazy. But I would definitely say Chance, Kanye, like the ones who are really making sense when they're putting music out. And it's something that goes. The thing about music is that if you can make anything that sounds timeless, then it doesn't really matter what you putting out even at that moment. But timeless music is always going to be the best. My list probably would have been different 2 years ago. I would say Saba too. I like Saba. Saba's from the Westside. He makes really good music as well. I think that, like, a lot of the newer, you got these artists that are countering that drill movement, that are saying, hey, that's one side of us, but hey, this is another perspective. And so I think that what's happening is actually there's a balance that's being created, because you can have both, because they both are real and they both exist, but it's all about having that balance. So I would say, those are some of them. I can't think of everybody. And if I forget anybody, y'all got to help me. But yes, that would be my list off the top of my head.
What's the word? 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 I'm stepping now. What's the word? 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 Hey, what y'all tell